The shocking news has just sent waves through the reality TV universe, and fans can't stop talking about it. Imagine scrolling through your favorite celebrity updates only to discover that everything you thought you knew was a lie. The heartthrob who captured the hearts of millions alongside Bambi has secretly tied the knot with someone else. The revelation has left fans stunned, emotions running high, and social media exploding with disbelief. How could the man everyone adored for his love story with Bambi suddenly vanish from the narrative of their seemingly perfect romance? The tension between truth and illusion has never felt so personal. Insiders claim that the secret wedding was months in the making, a carefully guarded affair that not even the closest friends and family knew about. Rumors of late-night meetings, mysterious phone calls, and cryptic social media posts have surfaced, painting a picture of betrayal and secrecy that nobody saw coming. Fans who once cheered for the couple are now grappling with feelings of anger, confusion, and heartbreak. Was it all a lie? Were the smiles and tender moments just part of an elaborate performance? And just when you think the story can't get any messier, whispers of heated confrontations, tearful arguments, and family members being torn apart by the revelation have started to emerge. Friends close to Bambi say she's devastated and blindsided, while sources close to Scrappy suggest he felt trapped, torn between love, loyalty, and obligations no one knew about. Emotions ran high as the drama unfolded behind closed doors, and the world only got glimpses of the storm. Fans are shocked, theories are flying, and the drama is only beginning to surface. Social media is ablaze with reactions, with some calling it the ultimate betrayal and others questioning whether there's more to the story than meets the eye. The reality TV world thrives on secrets, lies, and explosive revelations, and this is arguably the biggest bombshell of the season. As the story unfolds, one thing is clear: nothing will ever be the same between Scrappy, Bambi, and the fans who loved them. The question remains, what really happened behind those closed doors, and could there still be a chance for redemption, forgiveness, or even a dramatic showdown? Fans, brace yourselves. The heartbreak has just begun, and you won't want to miss a single twist in this tangled web of love, deception, and scandal. The tension had been building for months, though no one truly knew it. Behind the bright smiles, the public appearances, and the carefully curated Instagram posts, Scrappy's life had taken a turn that not even his closest friends could have predicted. Fans were still buzzing from the earlier whispers of trouble, subtle signs that something was off between him and Bambi, but nobody could have anticipated the truth that would soon explode across social media. The secret wedding, the clandestine meetings, the hidden conversations, all of it had been leading up to this moment. A moment that would shatter the hearts of millions and leave the reality TV world gasping in disbelief. Scrappy had made a choice, and the consequences were about to ripple through every corner of his life. It all started late one evening when a supposed insider dropped cryptic hints online, claiming that Scrappy had been acting different for months, disappearing at odd hours and avoiding the cameras in ways that seemed uncharacteristic for someone so public. Fans immediately speculated, connecting dots between his sudden absences, vague social media captions, and secretive phone calls. The theories ranged from a hidden relationship to career stress, but no one guessed the reality. Scrappy had secretly married someone else, leaving Bambi completely unaware. Emotions ran high across fan communities, with people sharing screenshots, fan theories, and wild speculations. The mix of shock, sadness, and anger created a storm that seemed unstoppable. Social media feeds overflowed with declarations of heartbreak, disbelief, and relentless curiosity. Everyone wanted to know the who, the how, and the why, and the rumor mill was only getting started. Sources close to the couple say the tension first became noticeable during a weekend getaway that Bambi thought was meant to rekindle their relationship. Instead, Scrappy appeared distracted, checking his phone constantly, leaving Bambi confused and anxious. He wasn't the same, an insider said. There was a distance, an unease in the air, and she couldn't understand why. He seemed like he was carrying a secret she had no access to. Friends tried to intervene, offering advice, attempting to mediate. But Scrappy was adamant about keeping the truth hidden, fearing the backlash from fans and the media. The secrecy only intensified the emotional strain. Bambi, oblivious to the truth, began to feel abandoned and unsure of her place in the relationship she had once believed was solid. Things took a turn when a family member accidentally let slip a comment about a wedding nobody knew about, which Bambi overheard. The moment is described as devastating. She froze, the source recalled. Her world stopped. Everything she thought she knew about their relationship fell apart in seconds. Fans watching from the outside had no idea that the seemingly playful arguments and minor spats they had seen on TV were shadows of a much deeper conflict brewing in private. The realization that Scrappy had been married in secret turned what seemed like innocent jealousy and tension into something far more sinister. Betrayal wasn't just a word anymore, it became a tangible force, reshaping relationships, alliances, and fan loyalties. Meanwhile, Scrappy's side of the story added even more layers to the drama. Insiders revealed that he had felt trapped in a cycle of expectation and public scrutiny, torn between his affection for Bambi and the responsibilities he had taken on in secrecy. He didn't want to hurt anyone, a close friend explained, but he also couldn't ignore the commitments he had made. There was guilt, fear, and pressure emotions that bubbled up until they could no longer be contained. This internal conflict made him more evasive, more private, and ultimately more distant from Bambi, leaving her increasingly frustrated and confused. The emotional stakes were rising, and those around them were beginning to see cracks that fans had yet to fully comprehend. The revelation of the secret marriage also sent shockwaves through the extended circle of friends and family. Some were supportive, understanding that life is complicated and that love can take unexpected turns, while others were enraged, calling Scrappy's actions deceptive and heartless. Heated arguments erupted behind closed doors, with accusations flying and emotions reaching a boiling point. The family was left divided, alliances formed, and tensions escalated to the point where even casual gatherings became battlegrounds. Each conversation seemed to open new wounds, exposing vulnerabilities and forcing everyone involved to confront the uncomfortable truth that nothing would ever be the same. Fans were not immune to the emotional fallout. Social media exploded with reactions, memes, and viral threads dissecting every possible scenario. Some defended Scrappy, claiming that private life is private, while others sided with Bambi, expressing anger at what they perceived as a betrayal of trust. Emotions ran high as hashtags trended, debates ensued, and the online community became a whirlwind of speculation, judgment, and heartbreak. The story had taken on a life of its own, transcending the couple and infiltrating the hearts and minds of anyone invested in the drama. Every post, every comment, every shared article added fuel to the fire, ensuring that the scandal would dominate conversation for weeks, if not months. To make matters even more complicated, whispers of financial disputes, property disagreements, and hidden obligations began to surface. Insiders claimed that Scrappy's marriage was not just a matter of love but also involved strategic alliances, legal arrangements, and family pressures that had forced him into secrecy. Fans were stunned. The picture of a carefree, fun-loving reality TV star was replaced by a man caught in a web of responsibilities, loyalties, and difficult choices. Every revelation added another layer of intrigue, making it harder for anyone to separate fact from fiction, truth from rumor, or intention from consequence. Amid the chaos, the emotional core of the story remained centered on Bambi. The heartbreak, the shock, the betrayal, these were not just plot points for fans to debate. They were real experiences that shaped her daily life. She cries almost every night, a source said. She doesn't understand how someone she trusted could hide such a monumental part of their life from her. It's like everything she believed in has crumbled. The vulnerability captured the hearts of fans worldwide, many of whom empathized deeply, sharing their own experiences of heartbreak and trust broken. The emotional resonance of her pain ensured that the story was more than sensational headlines. It was a shared human experience amplified by celebrity status. As the first public hints of the secret marriage began to leak, Scrappy's attempts to control the narrative only heightened the drama. Carefully worded social media posts, ambiguous captions, and selective photo sharing created more questions than answers. Fans dissected every pixel, every comment, every emoji, searching for hidden meaning. The tension reached a fever pitch as speculation ran rampant. Was there a chance for reconciliation? Was Bambi completely in the dark? Was Scrappy remorseful, defensive, or indifferent? Every answer seemed to spawn 5 new questions, each one more tantalizing and gut-wrenching than the last. And then came the confrontation that no one expected. Bambi, unable to remain passive, demanded answers. In a scene described as explosive and heart-wrenching, she confronted Scrappy in front of close friends. "How could you do this to me?" she cried, tears streaming down her face. Scrappy, caught off guard but prepared with rehearsed justifications, tried to explain. "It wasn't supposed to be this way," he said, his voice wavering between guilt and defensiveness. "I never wanted to hurt you. I thought I was doing the right thing." The room was filled with tension, every emotion amplified, every word dissected. Friends shifted uncomfortably, unsure of whom to believe, uncertain of how the confrontation would end. Emotions ran high as accusations, pleas, and confessions collided in a dramatic whirlwind that left everyone breathless. Behind the scenes, the story grew even more convoluted. Family members who had known about the secret marriage began to weigh in, each revealing a different perspective, each with their own agenda. Siblings, parents, and friends shared opinions ranging from supportive to condemnatory, adding fuel to an already raging fire. The family was left divided, alliances formed, and tensions escalated. Every revelation felt like another twist in a plot that seemed to have no end. And fans followed each development with bated breath, desperate for clarity, resolution, or at least the next shocking moment that would keep the drama alive. The first wave of fallout was only the beginning. As the news spread, media outlets picked up the story. Interviews were requested, and Scrappy's public image began to shift. Fans were shocked, not just by the revelation itself but by the cascading consequences. Friendships strained, relationships tested, and reputations hanging in the balance. The combination of secrecy, betrayal, and raw emotion created a narrative that was both heartbreaking and irresistible. A perfect storm of reality TV drama that fans couldn't look away from. The emotional stakes, the conflicts, and the secrets were far from over. The revelation of Scrappy's secret marriage had set off a chain reaction, one that would continue to ripple through the lives of everyone involved. The heartbreak, the anger, the confusion, it was only the beginning of a saga that promised more twists, more confrontations, and more drama than anyone could have anticipated. Fans were left holding their breath, waiting for the next chapter in a story that had already rewritten everything they thought they knew about love, loyalty, and betrayal in the world of reality television. The tension, the heartbreak, and the shock are palpable. And the story is far from finished. The storm has only just begun. And what happens next will define not just Scrappy and Bambi's relationship, but the emotional investment of fans worldwide. Every glance, every word, every action is now magnified, scrutinized, and dissected, creating a drama that feels both intimate and explosive, personal and public, heartbreaking and mesmerizing all at once. The secret is out, but the consequences are just beginning, and the world is watching every moment with bated breath. The saga of heartbreak, secrecy, and explosive revelations is only unfolding, and fans are left with a sense of disbelief, curiosity, and anticipation. Scrappy's secret marriage has torn open a narrative that once seemed simple and beautiful, exposing layers of emotion, conflict, and betrayal that no one expected. As emotions run high and the drama intensifies, the world can't help but ask, what will happen next, and how will Bambi and Scrappy navigate the tangled web of love, secrecy, and reality TV chaos that has engulfed them both? The confrontation between Scrappy and Bambi set the stage for an even more chaotic series of events, one that would continue to shock fans and unravel the carefully maintained image of their romance. After the initial confrontation, Bambi retreated to the safety of her closest friends, seeking comfort, advice, and a place to process the betrayal she had just endured. "I can't believe he did this," she confided tearfully to a trusted confidant. "All this time, I thought we were building a future together. And now, this." The room was heavy with emotion, the air thick with disbelief and sorrow. While friends tried to offer support, simultaneously struggling to contain their own outrage at Scrappy's secrecy. Each comforting word only underscored the magnitude of the betrayal, making the heartbreak feel even more real, more palpable, and more universally relatable to fans who had followed their journey for years. Meanwhile, Scrappy's camp was in a frenzy of damage control. Representatives, PR managers, and close friends worked around the clock to craft statements, manage social media fallout, and attempt to redirect the narrative. Rumors swirled that Scrappy had not anticipated the intensity of the emotional storm that would follow the revelation of his secret marriage. He thought he could handle it, an insider revealed, but the reality of it all, the media, the fans, Bambi's reaction has completely overwhelmed him. Public appearances were cancelled, interviews were delayed, and every communication was meticulously calculated to maintain a semblance of composure. Yet, even the most carefully crafted statements could not stop fans from dissecting every word, every gesture, every photograph for hidden meaning, confirmation, or contradiction. Social media became the epicenter of the drama, with hashtags trending worldwide as fans expressed their shock, sadness, and anger. Screenshots of old posts were resurfaced, with fans pointing out moments they now believed were clues to Scrappy's hidden life. "I can't believe we didn't see it coming," one fan tweeted. "All the signs were there." Others expressed support for Bambi, offering messages of solidarity and encouragement, while some surprisingly defended Scrappy, claiming that personal choices should remain private. The debate became so heated that even casual followers of the show were drawn in, discussing the morality, loyalty, and emotional toll of secret relationships. Emotions ran high online, paralleling the turbulence in the real lives of those involved. The family dynamics added another layer of complexity. While some relatives sympathized with Bambi, others quietly supported Scrappy, citing pressures and obligations that the public could never fully understand. Heated family arguments, reportedly, spilled over into private spaces, turning once happy gatherings into battlegrounds of emotion and accusation. "It was like everyone was taking sides," an insider explained. Some were furious at him for hiding it. Others thought Bambi needed to understand the reasons behind his choices. The house was divided, and the tension was palpable. These private battles eventually found their way into social media leaks, further fueling fan theories and intensifying the public's obsession with every development. The complexity of the emotional landscape was further heightened by Scrappy's own inner turmoil. Friends close to him revealed that he struggled with guilt, regret, and a fear of public judgment. He didn't want to hurt Bambi, a source said, but he felt trapped by expectations and obligations he couldn't share. It tore him up, inside. The emotional weight of secrecy, compounded by the public exposure of his private life, created a maelstrom of feelings that he could not easily navigate. Fans watching from the outside could only speculate about his intentions, while those closest to him tried to offer guidance, comfort, and perspective amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, Bambi's support network rallied around her, providing emotional reinforcement, guidance, and a platform to express her pain safely. Close friends documented the emotional toll, recounting moments of heartbreak, sleepless nights, and moments of sheer disbelief. The world began to witness not just a love story torn apart, but a human story of betrayal, loyalty, and emotional resilience. Fans empathized deeply, sharing their own experiences of heartbreak and trust violated, creating a communal space of shared sorrow and solidarity. The drama transcended mere reality TV gossip, becoming a conversation about human emotions, vulnerability, and the consequences of secrecy. The situation grew more tense as media outlets began to probe deeper. Interviews with peripheral figures, friends, extended family, and even acquaintances uncovered inconsistencies, cryptic remarks, and tantalizing hints that suggested the story was far from over. Every leak, every quote, every whispered revelation added layers of intrigue and suspense. Fans speculated endlessly. Was there more to Scrappy's motivations than mere secrecy? Were there additional relationships or commitments unknown to the public? How would Bambi respond to each new development? The answers remained elusive, ensuring that engagement, speculation, and emotional investment continued to soar. As the weeks progressed, tensions reached a peak when Bambi made the decision to confront the media herself. In a candid, tear-filled interview, she revealed the depth of her heartbreak, describing the shock, betrayal, and emotional toll of learning about Scrappy's secret marriage. "It's like my entire world flipped upside down," she admitted. "I don't know how to process it. I loved him, I trusted him, and now, everything is gone." Fans were moved by her vulnerability, sharing messages of support, admiration, and heartbreak across every social media platform. The emotional intensity of her revelation created ripples far beyond the immediate circle of reality TV enthusiasts, touching people worldwide who had been captivated by her story. Scrappy, meanwhile, remained largely silent, issuing brief statements that attempted to justify his actions while maintaining a veil of mystery. "I made choices I thought were best at the time," he stated in one post, "and I never intended to hurt anyone. The truth is complicated, and I hope one day it can be understood." The ambiguity of his message only intensified the drama, leaving fans torn between outrage, sympathy, and curiosity. Every word was dissected, every post analyzed, and every gesture scrutinized as the public tried to parse the truth from the carefully constructed facade. The fan reaction was explosive. Online communities became battlegrounds of debate, with supporters of Bambi and Scrappy clashing in heated discussions about loyalty, morality, and emotional accountability. The heartbreak of millions intertwined with the personal struggles of those involved, creating a narrative that was both intensely private and wildly public. Memes, videos, and reaction threads proliferated, ensuring that the story dominated social media and online forums for weeks on end. The combination of secrecy, betrayal, and raw emotion created a perfect storm that no one could ignore. Meanwhile, friends of the couple revealed moments of high tension, arguments that were both personal and public. As secrets were slowly revealed, there were nights when the arguments didn't stop, one friend admitted. Voices were raised, tears were shed, and the emotional stakes kept escalating. It was like living inside a storm. These intimate glimpses into the private lives of Scrappy and Bambi painted a picture of a relationship strained to its breaking point, with secrecy, misunderstanding, and unspoken truths fueling every conflict. Fans were captivated, unable to look away from the ongoing drama, as each new revelation added intensity, suspense, and heartbreak. Amid all the chaos, whispers of potential reconciliations began to surface, though the prospects seemed uncertain. At best, sources hinted that private discussions were taking place, attempts at understanding, apologies, and perhaps forgiveness. Yet, the emotional scars ran deep, and trust had been shattered. The public watched with bated breath, hoping for a resolution, fearing further heartbreak, and speculating endlessly about what might come next. The drama had become a living, breathing narrative, one that evolved with each passing day and refused to settle into predictability. The tension, the heartbreak, and the uncertainty created an emotional roller coaster for both the couple and the fans. Every development, every interview, social media post, and leaked detail added fuel to the fire, ensuring that the saga of Scrappy's secret marriage and Bambi's heartbreak would continue to dominate conversations. The combination of secrecy, emotional complexity, and public scrutiny created a drama unlike any other, one that would leave a lasting impact on fans, the reality TV world, and the personal lives of those at the center of it all. The story was far from over, with emotions running high, secrets still lingering, and the public demanding answers. The next chapter promised even more twists, confrontations, and heartbreak. Fans waited anxiously, hearts in their throats, ready for every shocking revelation, every tearful confrontation, and every emotional confession that would continue to shape the saga of Scrappy and Bambi. The drama was alive, relentless, and utterly captivating, ensuring that nobody would forget the shocking truth that had upended their world. The storm only intensified as the days turned into weeks, with both Scrappy and Bambi becoming unwilling participants in a spectacle that refused to fade from public consciousness. Paparazzi swarmed their every move, eager to capture glimpses of their fractured reality, while blogs and entertainment outlets churned out headline after headline, each more sensational than the last. The tension between Scrappy's silence and Bambi's raw vulnerability created a stark contrast that kept fans glued to every development. Bambi, in moments of unguarded honesty, confided to those closest to her, "I feel like my life has been turned into a stage, and the whole world is watching me bleed." Her pain became not just personal but performative, dissected and analyzed by millions who both sympathized and judged from afar. Scrappy, on the other hand, struggled with his carefully curated facade. Friends close to him painted the picture of a man caught between duty and desire, love and loyalty, regret and justification. He thinks he can explain it away, one insider revealed. But the more he tries to control the narrative, the more the truth slips through the cracks. His social media presence dwindled, his posts becoming sporadic, vague, and heavy with cryptic undertones. A single black and white photo of his hand resting on a table, captioned only with the words "Some truths can't be hidden forever," set the internet ablaze with theories. Fans dissected the image, some claiming it was a message to Bambi, others convinced it hinted at deeper secrets still waiting to be revealed. The drama escalated when footage leaked of a heated exchange between Scrappy and Bambi at a private gathering. The video, grainy and incomplete, showed Bambi visibly upset, her voice trembling as she demanded, "Why didn't you tell me? Why couldn't you just be honest?" Scrappy's reply, muffled but desperate, seemed to say, "I was trying to protect you." The clip went viral within hours, sparking endless debates about his intentions and her heartbreak. Some fans empathized with Scrappy, interpreting his words as evidence of a man trapped by circumstances beyond his control, while others sided fiercely with Bambi, declaring that no excuse could ever justify such a betrayal. Emotions ran high, and the family was left divided even further as relatives began choosing sides publicly, adding fuel to an already blazing inferno. Friends of Bambi, fiercely protective, encouraged her to focus on self-care and distance herself from the chaos. She was seen out with her closest circle, trying to put on a brave face, but insiders whispered that her heartbreak was far from healed. "She's shattered," one source said. "She may smile in public, but behind closed doors, the tears don't stop." Fans, ever loyal, flooded her social media with messages of support, sending words of encouragement, love, and solidarity. The wave of compassion only amplified the narrative of Bambi as the betrayed heroine, while Scrappy found himself increasingly cast in the role of the conflicted antagonist as speculation about the identity of Scrappy's secret spouse spread. Like wildfire, the media's hunger for answers grew insatiable. Tabloids published grainy photographs of women who were rumored to be involved, each story claiming to have exclusive details about the mysterious marriage. Some names were debunked almost immediately, while others lingered in the spotlight, fueling endless gossip and adding more confusion. The uncertainty only heightened the intrigue. Fans demanded clarity, demanding, "Who is she? Why the secrecy? What does this mean for Bambi?" But Scrappy remained silent, his refusal to confirm or deny any rumors leaving the questions unanswered and the suspense unbearable. The breaking point came when Bambi, tired of silence and shadows, confronted Scrappy again in an emotionally charged moment that insiders described as unforgettable. With tears in her eyes and anger in her voice, she asked him directly, "Do you even love me? Or was all of this a lie?" Scrappy, his voice low and conflicted, answered, "I'll always care about you, but I made choices I can't undo." The room fell silent, the weight of his confession hanging heavy in the air. Witnesses described the moment as heartbreaking, raw, and almost cinematic, a real-life scene that could have been scripted for television. Fans, hearing of the exchange through leaks and whispers, were left breathless, torn between sympathy for a man seemingly trapped and rage at the betrayal that had destroyed Bambi's trust. Behind the scenes, allies and enemies emerged. Some friends of Scrappy argued that the secret marriage had layers of complexity the public couldn't possibly understand, hinting at obligations, family ties, and pressures that went far beyond romance. Others condemned his silence, accusing him of cowardice and selfishness. The debates fractured relationships, strained friendships, and ensured that every social interaction within their circle became a minefield of tension. The family was left divided more than ever, with loyalties tested and tempers flaring in private battles that inevitably spilled into the public eye. The public spectacle of the drama reached new heights when Bambi posted a cryptic message on her Instagram story, "Healing isn't linear, but betrayal cuts deep." The post went viral instantly, fans interpreting it as both a declaration of her pain and a subtle message to Scrappy. The internet roared with support, fans reposting the message, adding their own stories of heartbreak, and further solidifying Bambi as the emotional center of the saga. Meanwhile, Scrappy responded with his own vague post, "A blurry sunset," accompanied by the words, "Some endings aren't the end." The posts, taken together, only deepened the speculation. Was there still a chance of reconciliation, or were these merely two people processing the same storm in vastly different ways? Even as the personal drama unfolded, the professional implications began to surface. Entertainment producers, always hungry for ratings, began circling the story, offering opportunities for exclusive interviews, documentary specials, and even potential spin-off projects centered on the scandal. The line between reality and entertainment blurred more than ever, raising questions about whether the heartbreak was being exploited for fame or whether it was an unavoidable byproduct of living life in the spotlight. Fans debated endlessly. Was it fair to turn such personal pain into entertainment, or had the couple's choice to live publicly made it inevitable? As whispers of financial entanglements, hidden deals, and legal complications added yet another layer of tension, the story only grew darker. Some claimed Scrappy's secret marriage wasn't merely about love but about navigating obligations tied to money, contracts, or even family honor. "It's bigger than just romance," one insider insisted. "This is about survival, about choices no one outside that circle could possibly understand." The suggestion of deeper motives cast everything in a new light. leaving fans reeling as they tried to reconcile the Scrappy they thought they knew with the complicated man whose secrets had shattered the world around him. And through it all, Bambi's resilience became the focus of countless conversations. Despite the heartbreak, she began to reclaim her narrative, attending events with quiet confidence, smiling for the cameras, and sharing glimpses of her healing journey online. "She's stronger than anyone realizes," a close friend said. "She may be hurting, but she refuses to let this destroy her." Fans rallied behind her, praising her strength, sharing messages of admiration, and vowing to stand by her side no matter what. Her ability to rise from the ashes of betrayal transformed her from a victim into a symbol of resilience, further cementing her place in the hearts of millions. The drama had reached a fever pitch, with emotions running high, secrets unraveling, and fans unable to look away. The heartbreak, the betrayal, the secrecy, had all combined to create a saga unlike any other. One that blurred the lines between reality and performance, love and loyalty, truth and illusion. And as the dust began to settle, one thing became clear: the story was not over. The next chapter was waiting to be written, and fans were desperate to know what twists, confrontations, and heartbreaks awaited Scrappy, Bambi, and the tangled web of relationships that had been forever changed by the shocking revelation of a secret marriage. The confrontation that everyone had been waiting for finally came to a head, when Jock could no longer ignore the whispers and quiet laughter trailing behind him. He walked into the living room, his face tense, demanding answers from Kendra. Cameras captured every flicker of emotion across his face: confusion, anger, and hurt. "So, it's true. You really had a baby shower, without me?" His voice cracked between fury and disbelief. Kendra, standing in the center of the room, froze as if the walls had closed in. Friends exchanged uneasy glances, and Rashida whispered to Kirk, "This is about to blow." Kendra tried to defend herself, her voice trembling, insisting it wasn't what it looked like, that it was just something small, intimate, and spur of a moment. But Jock wasn't buying it. His hands waved through the air as he unleashed years of pent-up frustrations, reminding her of the countless times he had put her first, only to be excluded from something so monumental. The betrayal cut deep, not just because he wasn't invited, but because she kept it hidden. The room turned into a storm of voices. Erica chimed in, accusing Kendra of making Jock look like a fool, while Bambi tried to play peacemaker, warning Jock not to explode in front of everyone. But Jock couldn't be tamed. His emotions spilled everywhere as he turned to Kendra, demanding to know who was really there, who took part in celebrating the life they created while he stood outside in the dark. The shocking part was when someone slipped and mentioned that Rashida had known about it all along, and the cameras caught her eyes widen, instantly aware that the secret had outgrown Kendra and now threatened to expose everyone. Jock's rage shifted from confusion to clarity. This wasn't just a hidden party, it was a betrayal wrapped in layers of secrecy. The scene grew heavier when Jock's voice broke, asking her, "Do you know what it feels like to find out from strangers that your own child was celebrated without you?" The raw pain in his words silenced the room, everyone realizing this was no longer entertainment but a real wound ripped open. Kendra, her eyes filling with tears, tried to plead her side, insisting she wanted to avoid drama and keep the energy pure for the baby, but her reasoning only sounded like excuses to Jock, who saw nothing but intentional exclusion. The chaos lingered, the silence after each outburst louder than the yelling itself, the weight of broken trust settling into the air like smoke that wouldn't clear. Even the producers stood frozen, debating whether to intervene, knowing this wasn't just good TV, it was real heartbreak playing out unfiltered, and no one knew how it would end. In the end, what this entire journey reveals is not just the cracks in relationships or the secrets that reality TV thrives upon, but the raw humanity beneath the glitter, the cameras, and the carefully constructed narratives. Kendra's decision to hide her baby shower from Jock wasn't merely about the event, it was about control, independence, and reclaiming a part of her life that often gets swallowed up by outside expectations. Jock's reaction, whether filled with confusion, disappointment, or anger, reflects how love and pride can clash when transparency breaks down. For the audience, this wasn't just another shocking revelation, but a reminder that even in the most glamorous and chaotic of lives, the battles are deeply personal and achingly relatable. The truth that finally came to light wasn't about decorations, guest lists, or a surprise party. It was about the unspoken struggles between trust and secrecy, vulnerability and strength, love and ego. And as the story continues to ripple through fans and the cast alike, one thing remains undeniable: In this world of bright lights and blurred lines, sometimes the most shocking truth is simply the one closest to the heart.